Hello, everybody. This is Group L, and here's our group presentation. So today we are talking about Barrett Business and a new ERP system. And here's the table of the content. Our content is divided into seven parts. And the first part is introduction, which talks about background and goals. The second part is business case for this project, which talks about why this project. The third part is stakeholder, which describes the requirements and needs from stakeholders. And the fourth part is the scope of the project. What is in the project? The fifth part is Gantt chart, which talks about specific project plan. The sixth part is project management details, which talks about WBS, network diagram, RACI matrix, cost estimates, and risk management. The last part is conclusion, which describes the value and the strength. Then here comes the first part. And part one is the introduction of BBSI. So the BBSI is Barrett Business Services Incorporated, which aka BBSI, is a professional employer organization establishing co-employment relationships with small and medium-sized companies. It has responsibility for their payroll taxes, workers' compensation and benefits, and other human resources functions. And these clients have the responsibility of day-to-day employee management. BBSI bills its PEO services as a percentage of client payroll at the end of each payroll processing cycle. And in 2017, BBSI launched a project to upgrade its legacy system to the ERP system. Then BBSI adopted Oracle's cloud service, which aka HCM Cloud, and its implementer is KBACE. But the system failed due to many reasons, and that caused a huge loss on BBSI. And the company's goal is BBSI aims to provide a solution to improve scalability, efficiency, and stability on this legacy system. This goal can be achieved by upgrading the system to the ERP system, which is Enterprise Resource Planning System. And the problem phase identified are critical gaps between the functionality of the HCM cloud and BBSI's requirements. The project team and team leader are ignorant about cloud system, lack of communication between stakeholders and project manager, and lack of communication between sponsors and project team. And KBACE has limited experience with the PEO implementation with the cloud service, expensive to adopt the new cloud system, and delayed service delivery from the KBACE. Here's the problem phase identified. And here comes the part two, business case for this project. Why this project? Because BBSI is a big company and it needs to handle thousands of payrolls and employees in different companies across different states in the US. So BBSI believed that launch the project to upgrade this legacy system can improve scalability and stability to combine the commercial and customer applications to manage the human resources, payroll, and financial function. At the same time, the new system can decrease the reliance on manual process, streamline its operations, increase the effectiveness, and ensure the alignment of user experience and its business objectives. And here comes the third part is the stakeholder and their requirements and needs. So the key functionalities of new system required by stakeholders are application program interfaces will allow to import benefits, time, and labor, and payroll data on a daily basis. Ability to calculate certified payroll, file local taxes under BBSI's employer identification number, a user interface for customers, show multiple work relationships for employee self-service, allow clients to process payroll through the simplified user screen, ability to include both positive and negative wages, ability to enter time to search clients' department, division, worksite, and project. And then is the part four, the scope of the project. what's in the project. So here's our scope description. It's basically based on the WBS milestone. So in scope, they are documents of analysis, documents of project planning, system architecture design, data analysis report for users, application development, system testing and quality assurance, support team and service. And out of scope are customer segment analysis, promotion and advertisement. And deliverables are an ERP system to handle payroll calculation and human resources, and the cloud solution for clients on the employee management side. Now I will hand it over to my teammate, and she will go through her part. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Wang. And next is my part. In IT project management, scope management is quite important. Before building a product, the project team needs to classify what they want to build. This means which items are out of scope and which are part of the scope. This activity includes the following 6 processes: the plan scope management, collect requirements, define scope, create work breakdown structure, control scope, and validate scope. In order to achieve scope management, the most commonly used tool is to draw a Gantt chart. Next slide, please. And the following is an expected Gantt chart drawn by Mindview 8 software according to our project definition. Next slide, please. The left part of the image is all of the activities involved in the project, and the right part is the Gantt chart of the project time period. According to our Gantt chart, we can get the details of several groups of the projects. Next slide, please. Including the WBS, network diagram, ACI matrix, cost estimate, and the risk management. Next slide, please. And this is our WBS. All the processes of the project are divided into 4 parts, which are analysis, planning, execution, and rollout. In the analysis phase, our project team will analyze the existing problems and disadvantages of the ERP system and determine the results that we need to deliver, as well as plans for our future work. And in the second planning phase, we define specific function and requirements. And what is important is that we have to define risk management approach to minimize the loss in the part. In the third phase, execution, which is the most important part, we have to realize the updated system, including the UI development, system development, and debugging. Testing is also important. This link can truly reflect the use value of the new system we deliver. And if it fits our original design perfectly, then we can proceed to the final step of delivery. Okay, next slide, please. This is our AOA network diagram. It is done according to the previous WBS and Gantt chart, and the process of the entire project and the time can be seen more intuitively and clearly by it. It should be noted here that there are certain dependencies between different nodes. To guarantee the project to be carried out efficiently and correctly, it must be ensured that it is in the strict accordance with the prescribed order. Okay, next slide, please. This is our RACI matrix. The whole roles of our project are divided into 6 parts. They are project manager, client, UI designer, system designer, algorithm designer, and tester. They play different roles during the whole project, and they're responsible for different activities shown in the WBS. Next slide, please. This is our project cost estimate. First of all, the estimated completion period of our project is 68 days, of which only working days are calculated. It is 5 days a week and 8 hours a day. So the total working hours is 68 multiply 8. Our salary is 100 per hour. Then we can get the estimated cost of the member's salary. It is worth noting here that the last atom, productive penalty, where 50 represents the total number of the days our project spent in the execution phase. As I introduced previously, we set a standard that can rise by 10%, which means we allow 5 days penalty. In the presence of penalty, this part of the cost also needs to be added to our project budget.
Okay, thanks. I will introduce the risk management part of our team's project plan. As we all know, the primary task of risk management is to assess risks. As project managers, we need to comprehensively consider the occurrence probability of each risk and its possible consequences. The specific calculation formula is as follows. We can make a comprehensive judgment based on the probability of the occurrence of risk events and the consequences of risk events. Because in real projects, there are different levels of risk. This method can provide quantitative indicators for us to evaluate risks. In addition, our team proposed 4 ways to solve risks, which is acceptance, avoidance, limitation, and transfer. These 4 approaches can be used as solutions for different levels of risk events. Specifically, the purpose of acceptance strategy is required expenses is larger than possible losses. A simple understanding is that when the occurrence probability of a risk event or the loss caused is small, the cost of the preventive measures we take is higher than that loss caused. At this time, managers should accept such risks. For the avoidance strategy, the manager should take some steps in advance to reduce the probability of risk. Fundamentally avoid the occurrence of risks causing losses to the company. The cost plan we propose provide a 10% floor time for software development and testing, which is basically to prevent the risk of system development failure due to the lack of time. For strategic limitation, the main purpose is to invest in some risk prevention. In this project, in order to prevent the risk of system failure due to the lack of experience of employees, our team proposed a risk solution strategy such as provide employee training services. Although some investment is increased, it can help enterprises upgrade and use ERPs better. The last strategy is transfer. To put it simple, a company can transfer risks to a third party, such as buying insurance. In summary, our team fully considered the potential risks of the project and proposed some solutions through the 3 steps of risk calculation, risk assessment, and risk solving. This shows that our plan is very mature. Next slide, please. Let's look at the last part, summary. In this part, we will put forward the value and strengths of our plan. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. In order to analyze the value of the project, our team uses SWOT analyze. This method can analyze the strengths and values of the project and potential problems from the perspectives of strength, weakness, threat, and opportunity. From the perspective of strength, our plan has advantages in time and price. In traditional work plan of ERP, it takes 3 to 6 months to implement the ERP system. Our plan only takes 6-8 days. This can greatly reduce the cost of time and money for the company. From the perspective of opportunity, our plan can provide the company with advanced ERP system, which can improve the competitiveness of the company and the operation efficiency and accuracy of the business process. It can fundamentally help enterprises realize digital transformation and upgrade the enterprise system. In the long-term consideration, this is very helpful to the business. Of course, the value of SWOT analysis lies in that it can help analyze potential weaknesses and threats. Our team is also made detailed explanation. From threats perspective, the biggest challenge is whether employees can use the system correctly. This is also the point raised by our team in the risk management part. Many companies have implemented very advanced ERP system, but employees lack professional knowledge, and examples of these project failures are very common. Therefore, our group proposed a solution. Training courses will be provided. From the perspective of weakness, the biggest weakness of the project is how to get support of senior leaders. Top management support is one of the success factors of all projects because the implementation of the ERP system will definitely invest more money and time costs in the early stage, and it is a long-term benefit for the company. It is difficult for top management level to see significant effects in the short term. Therefore, the solution is to determine that the main purpose of the project is to improve the efficiency of the enterprise, not to make a profit. Through the communication management between the project manager and the senior leadership, enough consensus can be made to get more top management support. Next slide, please. In the last part, let's summarize the value of ERP system, which is the value of our project. Our team has analyzed and summarized the following 4 points. ERP system can collect the business between enterprises. ERP system can achieve information integration and sharing inside and outside of the company. ERP system can improve the enterprise to market demand analyze ability through the analysis of data. The ERP system can provide users with a better appearance, the faster connection between the enterprise and the communication between users, better adapt to the diversified customer needs. In general, our plan is a mature and valuable plan that can help companies implement the ERP system with less cost. Next slide, please. So that's all. Thank you for listening, and here are the references.